why are so many people afraid of calling themselves leaders? I read this really interesting piece recently about the idea that people are so worried about what other people think of them that they're fearful of being defined as leaders in business, professional, corporate spaces. So what they end up doing is they shrink themselves, or they hide their skills. Not hide their skills. They don't over, how can I put it? It's not that they don't over celebrate, but they don't shine in a way that when you know you're good at something, or when you know that you are gifted in a certain space, it shines through, and then you also let people know, you make people aware. And I'm finding that what I'm finding interesting, particularly in the work that I do when it comes to personal branding within the PR landscape, I'm finding that people are really uncomfortable admitting that they are leaders. So being a leader doesn't necessarily mean that you're shouting on the top of a mountain, like letting the whole world know, I'm a leader, I'm the, you know. Being a leader means that you are utilizing your gift, your talent, your craft, and you are positioning yourself in a way that guides and influences people to also be the best of themselves, right? And you are tapping into that part of yourself that is not only great, but is in tune with that greatness. Because some of us are great at stuff, but we're not in tune with it. We're not allowing ourselves to be in tune with it. But if you are a leader, which I think a lot of us are, we can be leaders even on a micro level. We can be leaders in our businesses, whether it's a business of one or a business of many. You can be a leader and do great things, but you have to be in tune with your greatness, but also not be ashamed of that greatness. And I think a lot of people are ashamed or embarrassed to admit that they're leaders, or they're great and they're more than capable of leading. And unfortunately what happens is, by not admitting or not allowing ourselves to admit that we are great or that we're leaders and we have capacity to lead, we're allowing the same types of people who at the moment have a stronghold on our society to take up space, and take up space structurally, systemically in sectors and industries that are undermining and continually marginalizing people who actually have the skills and the talents to do more and be more. So I'm not putting the onus on you to say it's your fault that these things are happening. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, even within the space that you're in, if you can start to acknowledge and admit that you're a leader, and that you can be a leader, or that you even want to be a leader, you can make some amazing things happen. And I'm just thinking creatively. I'm just using my imagination in terms of what those amazing things could be. They're not necessarily rooted or linked to capitalism or hard work. It could literally be being a leader of self, so you can create a world that is moving and more beautiful and more creative than you can imagine. And I'll leave you with this. I'm connected with somebody who I consider to be a leader in a creative space, and they decided that they were going to stop using social media. So they won't be able to watch this video, unfortunately. And they just decided that they were going to go back to those old phones, you know, those old phones that look like burner phones that are not, you know, connected to the World Wide Web as such. And they're just gonna make calls and obviously tap into emails. They're not going to stop using digital, but they're going to stop using social media, and they're just going to make calls and write letters and write emails. And they're going to see what that does for them this year of 2024. And what I love about that is they're using their imagination to be a leader. They imagine this, because you can reimagine a world through your creative thought, and they're already successful in their own right, but by using their influence and their success, they are creating a new way, or renewed, because we can all do this, a renewed way of living. So I found that quite moving, actually. So wherever you are, whoever you are, remember that you are a leader, and you can be a leader in whatever space that you navigate. And I hope this message resonates with you. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, leave a message, and let's talk virtually. Leave me a message or send me an email. Take care. Bye.